The new president of South Korea issued a warning today. She says there would be a strong and swift military response to an attack by North Korea. The United States deployed F-22 stealth fighter jets yesterday in South Korea. That was part of the annual joint military drill. General Richard Myers is a former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, also a CBS News contributor. General, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Charlie.
General, let's start with this idea of North Korea. How do you separate rhetoric from intent? And secondly, if they are serious, what capability do they have?
Well, let's start with the capability. North Korea has a very large standing army, over 1 million-man army. Pretty antiquated equipment. Their aircraft, their Navy is pretty antiquated. Submarines, pretty good, especially small submarines. But the big thing is they have lots of missiles. They have hundreds of missiles that could be armed with biological or chemical weapons that could range to some of the allies there in Asia Pacific and some of our bases.
And rhetoric?
And the rhetoric, well, and rhetoric and intent. When you look at North Korea, there are lots of indications and warnings that are followed by our forces over there that could see if they're preparing for an attack, because it would take a lot of preparation. And my guess is, since we haven't heard anything about that, we don't see them preparing for an attack. So this is probably mainly rhetoric and posturing at this time, perhaps trying to solidify Kim Jong-un's new role as the leader of the country. Also a reaction to our exercises that we conduct fairly frequently over there in that part of the world. They always react to these exercises. This is not unusual.
General, you're a good Air Force man, so I have some questions for you on that. Let me ask you about capability, too, following up on Charlie. But every single time they've done a long-range missile test, like the Taepodong, it's exploded after a second. Do they really have any long-range capabilities?
I don't think anybody gives them much credibility for having a mature technology that could reach the United States. It's possible, but I think unlikely they have mature technology. Plus, the length of time it takes to prepare one of their long-range missiles, we would have plenty of warning and lots of options once the missiles on the launch pad. And
is that why we have those F-22s in the area and did those B-2 runs?
My guess is, I'm thinking they're part of this full Eagle as the exercise going on right now. My guess is they were already part of that. Perhaps they added the B-2 or the F-22 just as a response to all the rhetoric, but it would not be unusual for those aircraft to come into that exercise. It is a field exercise, so that's not unusual in and of itself.
All right.
One question: Do you believe that if in fact there's an attack on South Korea, that there would be a massive retaliation against North Korea and the end of the regime?
That's my personal belief. I think they have to know that any attack of any size on any ally there, including the U.S. in Asia Pacific, would be their last official act. I have no idea what the U.S. government is planning, but you'd have to think that would be the case. And they must know that, and if regime survival is their #1 priority, I think we're going to continue to see rhetoric, but I don't think we'll see action. We could see some smaller action. They've done that in the past.
Thanks, General.
But thank you, Charlie.
General Myers, thank you so much. Good to see you.